The images of starving civilians, children, coming out of Gaza this week have been chilling. Babies with bones poking out through paper-thin flesh, mothers who've been unable to breastfeed because they are so malnourished. And even when I've been speaking to hospital directors on the ground in Gaza, they've told me their own medical teams have had to have intravenous fluids because they've been fainting while on the job. In fact, over 100 aid organisations released a statement this week saying not only has the hunger crisis in Gaza reached terrifying new levels, but their own staffers, their own team members are going hungry. The little food that is available is exorbitantly expensive. 1 kilo of sugar, I was told today, costs $120. Meanwhile, those who have tried to seek aid have come under fire. The World Food Programme said that when they tried to get a convoy of just 25 trucks into Gaza last week, the Israeli military opened fire as desperate crowds came to that convoy. In total, the UN believes that over 1,000 people have been killed whilst they're just trying to get badly needed supplies. Israel has repeatedly denied that there is any form of famine or famine-like conditions in Gaza, and it has blamed Hamas for this crisis, saying that Hamas steals aid to fuel its warfare by both keeping the food away from civilians or selling it to them for exorbitant prices. Reuters today released a report which was reportedly written by US Aid, which said that the Americans found no evidence of this. In the end, Israel does control all the aid that's going into Gaza, and all the heads of the aid organisations and UN officials that I speak to have said that not enough aid is being allowed in and that the conditions on the ground are impossible to allow that aid to be safely delivered. The only hope at the moment for the civilians that I speak to every single day is for a ceasefire. Talks have been ongoing in Gaza between both sides, but today it looks like Israel and the US are signalling that they're pulling out of the talks by bringing their negotiating teams back. They blame Hamas for this. Some of the fundamental differences has been the fact that Israel has said that it wants to continue the war in Gaza until, quote, Hamas is destroyed. Hamas has said they will not get involved in any talks that doesn't involve a long-term and eventual end to this conflict. In the middle are civilians who every day are going hungry. And now the Israeli military told local media that they would restart foreign aid drops over Gaza. This was a controversial practice that took place last year. It effectively sees 1-ton pallets of food and other supplies parachuted from military planes into areas of Gaza. Aid organisations have criticised it by saying that A, it's inefficient, you cannot deliver huge amounts of aid by this method. B, it's not targeted, the pallet boxes of food land somewhat randomly. And C, it can actually be dangerous. Last year, 5 people were crushed to death when reportedly a parachute on one of these pallets failed to deploy as it landed in Gaza.